By now, with everything going on, a lot of you will be wondering what is the government doing about the whole exploitation of migrant workers, the selling of COS. This is what I'll be talking about, what the government is planning on doing. So hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're seeing my face or coming across my channel for the very first time, my name is Faith or Johnny. Let's get started. Before I share with you what the government is planning on doing, I'd like to share a story with you guys. So you know how serious and deep-rooted this issues going on in the UK is. So I'm going to be sharing with you a story of one Anthony, okay? So Anthony is a migrant care worker from Kenya. So this man came all the way from Kenya to work in the health and social care as a domiciliary care in the UK. The company do not provide him with a lot of resources, meaning he has to stay in his car, freezing cold. You know how winter is in the UK. It's very, very cold. And he can't even turn on his heater in the car because the battery might die and he will not be able to get to the next client. Things got worse when the company asked him to start taking responsibility for the car that he's using for the domiciliary care. And you know, when you're working in domiciliary care, it's based on the client, the amount of clients you visit that you're paid for. They don't pay you for wait time or the time you use in getting to your clients. They only pay you for the time you spend with your client. And sometimes they could be wait time about 2 to 3 hours. He spent about like 30 minutes with them, providing them with personal care and helping them get ready for bed before he moves to the next client. By the time he gets home, he would have attended to like 10 different clients and he would have been out of his house for more than 16 hours. So at the end of the day, he will make £61 a day after spending 16 hours out. That's because they don't count the wait time, the drive time, they only count the amount of time you spend in this client's house, and that's what they pay for. Anthony's case is just one out of 1,000 care workers hired from abroad to come and address staff shortage in the UK social care sector. I mean, he saw opportunities to come to the UK to transform his family life and family future. So he sold all his belongings, everything he owned in Kenya, and came to the UK to work. And aside that, he paid £2,500 in admin fees. That's what they call it, to come and work in domiciliary care agency, which promised him a full-time job, a minimum wage, 10 times more than he can earn while he was in Kenya. Because most time people just convert currency not knowing that it doesn't work like that. So after a year he arrived, he says that he was forced to return to Nairobi. Now he is owing 10,000 debts and without a job. His employer terminated his visa sponsorship after he raised concern about his working condition and they failed to provide him with reference. So I know that in the UK, employers cannot give bad reference, but I don't know that employers can refuse to give reference. So they terminated his job and also refused to give him reference. So because of that, there's no way he can get a job in the UK, because if he's going to put his previous employer on his CV, they are going to need reference from them, which they bluntly said no, they're not going to reference him, which made it difficult for him to find a job, another care job with sponsorship in the UK. So since he couldn't find that, he had to pack his load and off to Kenya. I mean, after selling everything with the hope of a better future for his family. Anthony's story highlights all the challenges that are faced by migrant care workers who are promised salaries and working hours, but on getting to the UK, there's nothing like that. How can you be working in the care sector and be earning £920 a month when it's not a part-time job? It is supposed to be a full-time job, but you're earning part-time salary, which means at the end of the year, instead of earning 20,000, which is the minimum wage you're supposed to earn as a carer, you're earning between 13 to 15,000 a year. The Thai visa system in the UK skilled worker visa leaves migrant workers dependent on their employers for rights to work, making it difficult for them to switch jobs and even difficult for them to speak out against exploitation, especially in the care sector. An advocate for migrant rights network, which is a charity organization, is calling on the government to reform the skilled worker system, which allows employees to be tied to their employers. This is making employees trapped in a job where they are being exploited, and also if they try to speak up, their employer will threaten them with cancelling of their COS and deporting them back to their home country. In Anthony's situation, he reached out to the Home Office, explaining to the Home Office everything that has transpired between his employer and him. The reason they terminated his employment was because he refused to agree with the new policy on car. So the new policy is that they're going to give him a company car, but he will be the one to finance the car. That means he will be the one to buy petrol, he will be the one to pay the road tax, he will be the one to, take care of the car. How much are they paying him from the £900 that he's earning a month? He said he wasn't okay with that policy. He said even after reaching out to the Home Office, what he got instead from the Home Office was a letter telling him he has 60 days to leave the UK or find a new job. If he can't find a new employer, he needs to leave. So when he found out that the company refused to reference him and he couldn't get a job, he decided to go back to Kenya. But I mean, he granted this interview with one of the news outlets, and that's why the story is out there. The truth is there are millions of stories out there. According to statistics, over 705 workers, especially in the care industry, are reporting their employer to unions and charities that are helping. But these charities and unions like Unison and Gangmaster, is it Gangmasters? Yeah, Gangmasters and other charity organizations have reached out to the government to do something about employees being tied to their employer. Gangmaster and other charity organization, Labor Abuse Authority, has acknowledged that the tied visa scheme is leading to exploitation, with cases of workers being charged high fees, forced to work long hours, and paid less than they are promised from their home country, and reaching out to the government to do something. So it is clear that changes are needed to protect the rights and well-being of care workers like Anthony and other people who are working in a skilled worker job who are tied to the visa system and are being exploited. The truth is, the government knows that there are exploitation and they are not doing anything about it, because this is not the first story. This has been going on like since last year. There have been different stories coming up about care workers being exploited, skilled workers, about buying of COS and selling of COS. So for those of you who are waiting to hear what the government have to say, the truth is nothing. The government have not said anything regarding if they're going to do something about the skilled workers being tied to the visa or not. Do not go above and beyond to step your foot to the UK. If you keep applying for care jobs and all that, if you can get it without paying anything, without selling all your properties and all that, come and do the job. But don't go and sell your properties for that. Final advice: keep records. I know I've said this in one of my videos and some people were asking me what kind of records should we keep. I mean, keep record of every single thing, anything you're doing in your job. Once you see that that thing you're doing is already causing a little bit of back and forth argument, start keeping record. Make sure you're not working with emotions. Make sure when you're talking to your colleagues or anyone, do not use emotions. No matter how angry or pissed off you are, make sure you sound calm, collected, and polite. There's a way you can talk to someone. You're not rude, but you're not like kissing their ass. Permit me to use that word. If you're having issue at work, please do not use your judgment to decide what to do, decision to take. Seek a solicitor's advice and they will tell you the right thing to do. HR professionals, ask questions before you take any action. Join a union. Don't just join any union. Join a union that will look out for you. And the advantage of joining a union is that once you're in a union, they are there to protect you, and also they will give you legal advice as well. So unions are very helpful. Trust me, join a good union. Before you do anything at work, please talk to someone. Take it from me, I've been frustrated and I'm telling you this out of experience. Do not speak out of emotions. Before you send any email or any response, you need to be very careful. Anyway, that is it. So for those of you who are waiting for me to say, oh, this is what the government is doing to stop the selling of COS or exploitation or being tied to a skilled worker visa, the answer is nothing. The government is not doing anything. So it is best for you now to start protecting yourself, fight for yourself until the government decides to do something about it. For now, just stay safe. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.